Night Divided, Disc 6. Chapter 42. Never say there is nothing beautiful in the world anymore. There is always something to make you wonder. Albert Schweitzer, German theologian, physician, and philanthropist. This time when I ducked through the boarded-up windows, I needed to be more careful than ever before. If the ground was being studied on the other side of this wall, I couldn't do anything that would make the watchtower guards take notice of me here. If they hadn't done so already, it wouldn't be hard for them to connect my actions with their sinking ground. So I stuck to my routine when I entered their sights. I loaded the bucket with dirt and then stuffed the sheet over it. My buckets were heavier than they used to be, and I was carrying them better. It was a small thing, but I was proud of it. I glanced back once at the watchtower, as I always did more often than I should. I couldn't see anyone there this time, so maybe they were inside, or maybe they were part of the ground investigation. If so, I hoped that was a good thing. When I turned forward again, I jumped with surprise and almost cried out. Anna was standing there, nearly in front of me. I wasn't sure where she had come from. The only way she could have arrived so suddenly was if she had already been here hiding and watching. Anna had surely seen me come from inside the building just now. She looked as nervous as I felt, with a rigid posture and licking her lips as if we lived in the driest of deserts, but I couldn't understand why. I had everything to lose in this moment, while she only risked losing her clean dress if I decided to push her into the pond, which I was seriously considering. Can we talk? She asked. You can talk to me, but I'm not sure who I'm talking back to. My words were bitter and angry. Am I talking to the Stasi right now? Or the Grenzers? The only thing for sure is I'm not talking to a friend. Maybe I never was. If you won't talk, then will you listen? Anna asked. Because I have things to say. If I don't tell them to you, I will have to tell somebody. Which would you prefer? Reluctantly, I nodded for her to follow me, and then continued on to the pond. After all, I still had work to do. Anna sat on a rock near the pond and clasped her hands together. The Stasi visited us after Peter died, she said. They searched our house and found things from the West, innocent things that everyone has. Some black market perfume for my mother, a television with its station tuned to the West, and some forbidden books. Nothing we purchased, just ones my family still had from the old days. I don't think my parents even remembered we had them, to be honest. The Stasi used those things to blame us for Peter's escape attempt, and said my parents would be arrested for encouraging subversive behavior, and I would be taken away. I dumped the bucket into the pond. It didn't matter that she saw dirt wash into it along with the sheet. As I did, I said, You told me that in his note, Peter took responsibility for his own actions. Didn't they care about that? I already knew the answer and felt naive for even asking. Of course they didn't care. The Stasi always hunted for the biggest game they could catch. The rest of us were simply their bait. We begged them for mercy, Anna said. We promised if they let us go, we'd do anything they wanted. How could you make a promise like that? What choice did we have? Goethe, tell me honestly, wouldn't you have done the same thing to save your family? Maybe, probably. Of course I would have, but there was another part to her story, the part I wasn't sure I could stomach. The Stasi offered us a trade, she said. For the right kind of information, they would erase any files on our family, give us a fresh start. We agreed. We had no choice but to agree. So we started looking and listening and trying to find something suspicious. We told ourselves we were doing the right thing because whoever was breaking the law deserved to be caught. Then Anna's eyes filled with tears. I didn't know it would be you, Goethe. Why did it have to be you? I tried a bluff. Whatever you think, I know about the tunnel. I've been there. You saw the dried mud still on my boots when you were in my room. Something had become lodged in my throat by then, and speaking took effort. Your parents? They only know about the gardening. They think you're terrible at it. But you've told the Stasi? Not yet. My parents haven't learned anything useful on their own, and so we keep delaying. But the Stasi are getting impatient. They want names. They want arrests. I've already lost my brother. If I don't say something soon, I'll lose my parents too. So you'll sacrifice my family to save yours? My tone was icy, even though it shouldn't have been. I was no saint and couldn't pretend my choices would be any nobler if I were in her situation. And she was right. Her family was innocent of any crimes against the state. Mine was not. But Anna shook her head. Gerta, to save my parents, I am going to tell the Stasi. Tomorrow. I need you to be gone tonight. My heart pounded with the impossibility of that. The tunnel isn't finished yet. But Anna replied, I gave you as much time as I could. Don't you see that all this time I've been trying to protect you? I could have run to them a month ago with my suspicions, but I didn't. I wanted you to give up this crazy plan or turn yourself in and beg for mercy. What do you suppose the Stasi will say when they realize how long I waited to tell them? I'm already going to be in trouble. I didn't want Anna in any trouble, and the thought of her facing consequences for my crime made me cringe. I never thought about that, I said. Anna, if you're in danger, just go, but do it today. Be free, Gerta, the way you want to be free. Come with us, I said. Be free with us. My family would never leave, she said. They wouldn't dare, not after the way Peter died. Tell them it's what Peter would have wanted. I took her hand and gave it a squeeze. In his honor, you should live the life he wanted to have. But Anna pulled her hand free. Even behind a wall, this is our home, and the wall can't last forever. It will come down one day, and then I want you to be the first to greet me. I'll be there, I promised her, and every day until then I will miss you. Hot tears filled my eyes. You are my friend, Anna. I always was, she said, and always will be. I wanted to hug her goodbye, but she refused it. At first, I thought that was because of how dirty I was, but then she cast an eye toward the watchtowers and said, We don't say goodbye when they're watching. We only say, see you soon. So I waved at her as she walked away, but instead of a farewell, I said, Ask yourself why Peter left. Please, Anna, promise me that you will find that answer. She didn't respond or turn around. As she faded into the alley, I wasn't even sure that she had heard me at all. Back in the tunnel, I told Fritz and Dominic about my encounter with Anna. Dominic had plenty to say about her decision to talk to the Stasi tomorrow, but he didn't understand the intimidation of the secret police, not like Fritz, who merely nodded and said we would find a way out in time. After Fritz mortared the brick we had already brought down, there wasn't much more we could do from our end. It would be several hours before the mortar was dry enough to lift overhead. I offered to dig, just a little, but Dominic said Papa had insisted we not weaken the wall. Neither of us wanted to go home either. Mama must have been pacing the floor to wonder how things were going here, but I hoped she'd know bad news would carry to her. If there was no news, it meant things were still okay. Dominic